Good morning, everyone. Today I will be making some elderberry syrup. It calls for 1 tablespoon of fresh ginger or 1 teaspoon of dried ginger, a teaspoon of fresh cloves or dry cloves, or you can do 1 drop of essential oils. Then there's a cinnamon stick that I put in here, 3/4 cups of elderberry syrup, and I'm going to add raw honey. On the stove, I do have my containers boiling. Well, they haven't boiled yet, but I have my jars on the stove because I'm going to clean these. You don't want to put anything in jars that might have some residue in it, or because you don't want to contaminate this elderberry syrup. Okay, I just took my jars out of the hot water that I was cleaning them. So I'm going to let those cool and dry them out. And I'm going to start my syrup process. Okay, I have my water on the stove here. I'm going to add in my ingredients. Okay, here is my cloves and cinnamon, my fresh ginger, and my elderberries. And I've got these elderberries from this little herb shop around the corner from where I live at. Little quaint little place. My go-to place if I don't order offline. Sorry for the moving around. So here's my elderberry syrup. Seeds, my dried elderberries. So this will simmer. I'm gonna wait till it boils first. And then it's gonna break down to a simmer. The color has changed already. If you can see the color. And it's a pretty color. Some people leave their elderberries in their syrup once they strain everything. I'm not going to do that because I don't want anybody fighting to remove the seeds while they're trying to taste it. I know they say turn the jar upside down and then turn it right back up so all the elderberries will still be at the bottom, but they do float. All of them don't go to the bottom. So I'm not going to include my seeds in here. So once this start boiling, I'm going to turn it down, and it, like I said, has to simmer for about 45 minutes. Okay, it's starting to boil. So I'm going to give it a quick stir. Look at that. I'm waiting for it to do a full boil, and then I will turn it down. So this is going to simmer for 45 minutes, 40 to 45 minutes. Turn the stove down some, and it smells good. So I guess my house will be smelling like elderberries all day. But the aroma is really good. Okay, still simmering. I got about 20 minutes left. So I'm going to go ahead and I got my clean bowl to put it in. And I'm going to get my raw honey. This is my bowl that I'm going to put it in. Once it cools, then I'll put my raw honey and stir in really well until it's all incorporated. If you don't want to use raw honey as a sweetener, honey is great for antioxidants and inflammation and everything else. Heal you inside out. You can use, if you don't want something that sweet, you can use molasses, forego the sweetener altogether, but it wouldn't be a syrup. It would be like a juice or a tea. So it would not last as long because you can store this in the refrigerator probably up to 2 months or so, or you can freeze, put it in little ice cubes or whatever you want to freeze it. But if you're going to do a juice, it has to be consumed more quickly. and or you can take the juice and you can can it. I don't know how you do that. Well, if you know how to can, you can can it in the glass jar, you know, simmer it, boil it, or whatever, and take it out as needed. So I'll show you once I start, once this finished simmering and it cools a little, I'll strain it and put it in a bowl, and you'll see everything else from there. Okay, here's my raw honey that I will be using, and it does call for 1 cup. So, like I said, I'm going to strain my elderberry juice. That goes across like that. So, still waiting. Okay, my elderberry is all done. So I'm going to let this cool enough so I can handle it and strain it. So once this cool down some, I'm going to give it a few minutes. Then I can strain it into my bowl. It will have to cool a little bit longer, and I can add the syrup. Okay, I have my elderberry syrup. So what I'm doing is I'm squeezing the excess liquid off the berries that's in here, because they did soften up. So you want to get all that essence out. That's the good part. So you want to make sure you get as much out as possible. So what I do is I stir this in here and squeeze it again until I don't have a pour. I think I got all of it out. And I'll do this until I finish the whole pot. I think I got like a teaspoon, two tablespoons left. Okay, I'm still squeezing. I'm just about done. I'm going to put that in put the pan in there. I'm going to have to bleach that pan. I don't know if it's going to stain with this purple. So I think I just got everything out. So I'm going to let this cool. You don't want to put the raw honey in there while it's too hot, because you don't want to break down the natural honey. When the stuff is too hot for your honey, sometimes it doesn't do anything. It diminishes the antioxidants that the honey has. So you want to be careful not to pour while it's too hot. Okay, I'm going to dump this. So I have all of that in. So I'm going to check the temperature on this. It's at 113. So let me whisk this. Try to cool it down some. Should be doing also on a napkin, because if this countertop, I will be in big trouble. Got my measuring cup. Move that out the way. It's my coffee I had earlier. So I'm going to measure out 1 cup of raw honey. You probably can use less than that. That's a lot of honey. I'm not going to do the full cup. Get me a rubber scraper. Make sure I get all that honey out, because raw honey is not cheap. That's why I hide it, because if I leave it in my refrigerator, in my cabinet, my husband will, whoo. I normally use this for making my natural products. Check the temperature. 109. That's cool enough. So what I'm going to do is stir in my honey. I love honey. I wanted to put some hives in my backyard. Although I'm allergic to bees now, didn't used to be. My husband was like, absolutely not. We do not live on a farm. But sometimes they give you grant money. So I'm scraping the honey off of this whisk. With the whisk, actually. Make sure I got it all out, which I do. Waste not, want not. So I'm going to whisk this in till it's nice and stirred and thick. And I think this elderberry should have been a little thicker than this. I don't know. Maybe it gets thickened after it cools. Because I had it boiling for about an hour. It says 45 minutes. Because it should come out thick like this one. See how thick that is? Have a clove stem. See if I can grab that out. So it may thicken as it cools, but we'll try it out and see. So I have a little jar here. And let me get a towel, because if I spill this all over the place, bloop, bloop, bloop. my towel down. Got peels from the ginger all over the place. Thought I'd clean everything up. So here's my, I'm going to put some in this jar. Wish I had some smaller jars. Okay, it's gotten a little thicker. You know what? I don't know if I'm going to... I think I'm going to use a cup with a spout on it. Or like a pour thing. I'm going to see if this thickens up. This helps boost your immune system, especially if you take it with some vitamin C and D, or eat healthy, colorful fruits and vegetables. It helps build your immune system. So, especially in the wintertime, it's cold and flu. Do you know we're still into this corona? Corona is still present. Let's see if I can pour this, because I don't trust trying to pour this in the spout. Yeah, that's better. This smells so good, you guys. I can smell it all on my top level of my house. Okay. Whoop. Don't want to overpour. I should have let me take some of this out. Take some out. I have another jar, which maybe is too much. My other jar. I wish I had some 2-ounce jars. There you go. So I'm going to create a label for these. And you know what? I don't think I'm going to use, since I'm just using this for home, I think I'm going to just use regular lids, labels that I got in something, and put my own. So this is the syrup. It will thicken up, But so far, here you go. Enough for my fan. Probably buy some more elderberries and probably let it simmer a little bit more to see if it reduces more, and then go from there. Try different ways. But here you go. So I'm going to put a label on here, and once, if it thickens up, I'll do another video. So let me hold one quickly. I'm going to put this on hold. Okay. So everything is done. Here's my little label, and it just says elderberry syrup, 1 teaspoon a day, cold season. So you only use it during the cold and flu season. Supposed to help minimize, your cold. And I think I need a new pen. One teaspoon a day, cold and flu season. So there you have it, my elderberry syrup. So if it thickens up, then I'll let you know. If it doesn't thicken up, I still can use it. It's just that I will make another batch, and I will probably let it simmer a little bit longer, but I did simmer it longer than what their recipe requires. So here you go. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Toodles.